You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Oh, Becky Hammon. Becky Hammon, from the San Antonio Spurs. I guess you could say formerly of the San Antonio Spurs. She's actually a head coach now in the WNBA.
Guys, if you don't know, that is the woke National Basketball Association.
Yeah, but with women.
Or women. Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, tomato. Yeah.
True. Now, she's actually back in the league here, and she made some comments about why she went to the WNBA. She had no intentions of actually going to the WNBA. She truly wanted to be a head coach in the NBA. Because think about it. She was going on interviews this past off season. She didn't get a job. And it seems like she took a shot at the NBA for not giving her a job. Now, of course, the mainstream media is not going to tell you this, but we have the comments here. So let's look at this. It says here, Becky Hammon explains jump from NBA to WNBA's aces. They saw me as a head coach. Okay.
Is the Marxist NBA of China not quite as equal opportunity as the
It seems like the
WNBA?
the NBA is not as woke as you may think. Okay. Now we don't know exactly what she was saying and what they actually told her completely in these interviews, but
say it ain't so, John. Not hypocrisy. That's not possible, is it? Not propaganda. That surely cannot be possible from corporate interests. No way.
Check this out. Last Thursday, Becky Hammon announced plans to leave the San Antonio Spurs bench to become the head coach of the WNBA's Las Vegas Aces. On Monday, she explained her decision while being introduced at her new job on a video conference. She said this, quote, when it comes to the NBA, okay? Quote, I sat in head coaching interviews in the NBA, and people said two things, Hammon told reporters. Per Business Insider's Meredith Cash, quote, you've only been in San Antonio, and you've never been a head coach. The Aces saw me as a head coach right now. Doesn't that sound like a shot at the NBA?
Well, I did a video a while back, and it was about her, and she had interviewed for some various jobs around the league. I think Portland supposedly thought about, at least that's what they told the media, thought about hiring her supposedly very seriously. And she was also a candidate for the Boston Celtics job when it was open. And one of the things that came out in a separate article and separate video we did was the fact that when teams called the Spurs, she did not get the most glowing of recommendation from the San Antonio Spurs.
I remember that.
And the thing that was thrown out there was the fact that some people around the league were hearing from the Spurs that there might be a work ethic issue with Becky Hammon, that they felt maybe she wasn't going above and beyond to the point that was needed in order for her to become a Marxist NBA of China head coach.
Yeah.
So, oops.
Look
so
at
much.
this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Look at that right there. When the Aces came calling, she was interested, though she admitted that she initially had no intentions of leaving the NBA. She didn't want to go to the WNBA.
No.
Now, she said, I'll never close the door on the WNBA because I love the WNBA. I've learned to just keep my options open and try to be open-minded. When Aces president Nikki Fargas called, I listened. This was not really about the NBA or WNBA. This was about me personally being ready to have a team and wanting to have a team. This was her last resort. It seems like she's pissed off at the NBA for not giving her a job. They tried to say, oh, you've never been a head coach? Well, guess what? Chauncey Billups was never a head coach. You got other black NBA coaches.
Yeah, I mean,
they just now got jobs. They've been in the league forever. Sam Cassell still has not gotten a head coaching job.
I mean, Udoka for the Celtics, never been a head coach. He got a job.
Yeah,
with the Celtics. Yeah, I mean, come on. That's interesting. Yeah, the NBA is that's sort of a peel back the layers thing with the NBA. Let me ask you a question. Would she have ever gotten an NBA job?
You know what? That's a good question right there. I've been thinking about that for the longest time. And I hate to bring up, her being a woman. I don't know how. I have no idea how that would actually work. I don't. I really don't know. Would she command the respect of the players?
Well, it makes you wonder how much responsibility was she really given with the Spurs if they felt like her work ethic was not up to par to become a head coach. For some reason, they decided to put that story out there, or that's what was going around in league circles, was that she wasn't working hard enough.
Yeah. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's interesting.
But you got to realize too, man, these NBA head coaching jobs, they're extremely hard to get because you don't have a whole bunch of openings every year. Like we already said, Sam Cassell has been an assistant for how long? For years.
A long time.
And he was a very good NBA player. He won a couple of championships with the Rockets. Still doesn't have an NBA head coaching job.
Right.
These things aren't easy to get.
Well, Raymond Gatter in the chat said, I think it's more woke Gregg Popovich. Yeah, could it be possible that Gregg Popovich would be the head captain of the hypocrisy train in not giving Becky Hammons a glowing recommendation, or not giving her the maybe the skill set passed down from him? Maybe he didn't.
Here's the thing also with Pop.
Word on the street
is, and I did a video on this, is that this could actually be Pop's last season in the NBA.
Oh,
so
that's right.
Pop's last season, and you would think because Becky Hammon was the assistant coach, that maybe he would actually try to pave the way for her to take over the Spurs. That don't seem to be happening. And someone's telling me the Spurs probably know whether or not Pop is actually going to retire after this season.
Oh, Blue Week in the chat brings something up that's very interesting. Could it be possible in today's woke Marxist NBA of China climate / woke National Basketball Association, could it be possible that everything in that culture had gotten her to the point of believing that maybe she felt entitled to get a job in the NBA? Entitled.
Probably. It could be.
Entitled to it.
But that ain't the way it works.
That's not the way it works.
And one thing about assistant coaches, and we see this quite a bit. These assistant coaches, when you go to great teams with great players, the word on the street is, especially in the media really pushes this, that, oh, this is the next person to get a job. How many times have we seen, like in the NFL, Tom Brady's offensive coordinators? How many of them actually panned out as head coaches?
I've got an example for you. Somebody that people were banging the table should get a job, and there's outrage going on. That there was a sense of entitlement that he should get a job. And they're still going to talk about him when we get around to the hiring cycle. But the last 3 or 4 years, I guess, people have come out of it. And where has the outrage been? It's been around one name not getting a job. Eric Bieniemy of Kansas City, that offensive coordinator.
Yep.
It is appalling that he hasn't gotten a job. When what nobody in the media wanted to talk about was the fact that you see back in the day, Eric Bieniemy was a coach on a staff at the University of Colorado when they had one of the biggest, nastiest, ugliest scandals in the history of NCAA football. He was a coach on that staff, and he himself has had issues in his personal life that would give an NFL owner, and should give them, serious pause about ever giving Eric Bieniemy a job of any kind.
He has some skeletons in his closet. You guys may want to look that up.
Absolutely. But no, it's always been the same woke scenario. He hasn't gotten a job because of why? He's black. It's a conspiracy against black coaches getting a job. Same thing here. She may have worked herself in her mind. You know, what's the old saying? She's a legend in her own mind. She may have worked herself up in her own mind as feeling entitled to getting this job, when at the end of the day, and we know how stories like her work ethic isn't great. Reporters, journalists, they start talking, you know, to the 11th guy on the bench. The 12th guy starts talking to agents. All these sort of things goes together and putting stories together to get background on somebody. And she had earned a reputation, the story was, around the league, that her work ethic wasn't great and that people felt she wasn't working on a level to be able to coach the NBA, an NBA team, and lead men. Look, Becky Hammon may be one hell of an NBA coach one day. Maybe. But something about, I'm sorry, but do you truly believe that if you're an NBA franchise and you look at her and you think, you know what? I'm talking to her. I swear she may be the next Gregg Popovich. She may be the next Phil Jackson. You know what? We're giving that woman a job. I don't care if she has a penis or a vagina. We're giving that person a job. If we think she can coach like that on that level, she's getting a job. She can be Caitlyn Jenner. If they think they've got the next Gregg Popovich or the next Phil Jackson, that, whatever that is, son of a gun, is getting a head coaching job. And for whatever reason, they felt Becky Hammon was not one of those people.
Yep.
Let's just be real. Let's be real. Nobody, they would give her a job if they felt like she had that kind of potential as a head coach. It wouldn't matter if she was coaching women, men, nothing. Let's face it, the WNBA probably hired her as a head coach because she's immediately one of the biggest names in their shitty ass sport. Let's keep it real. She's one of the more famous names, and she gets hired in. She immediately becomes a top 10 name in their league.
she got a record deal to be the coach. I think it was like 5 times more than any coach has ever gotten in the WNBA. Now, that ain't saying much because we know the NBA coaches. And how many people actually wanting to go and be a WNBA coach? Probably not a lot.
How are they paying for that? Because it ain't from the money they get from their television contract.
Supplemented by the Martha's NBA China.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.